going on, Port fans? Just going to do a review of the Essendon game on the weekend, and what a fantastic result from the boys. To win that by 10 goals was, a really, really positive result, and full credit to the coaching staff for making some tough calls last week. The side looked a lot more balanced, and they ran, they carried, they lowered their eyes when they hit inside 50. Robbie Gray was so good early and really set up the win for us. Kept them at arm's length for most of it. Kept that 2-goal barrier for the majority of the first half, and it was quite positive. Even when Essendon looked like they were going to come, we seemed to have an answering goal, or we seemed to be able to, stop them in their tracks. The defence was fantastic. Darcy Burn-Jones had a cracking game of footy. He was everywhere at times, and his possession going forward was fantastic. Really, really positive for the fella. He's got to be up there in best and fairest contention. I think Boki's probably got that wrapped up, but he's really pushing, for that type of recognition. And Cleary was great. Jonas was great. We were helped at the start by having McKernan out. A lot of people were up in arms about Lysette being dropped, and probably rightly so, but it was the perfect week to try someone like Laddams against Dylan Clark and McKernan, and just see what he can do at AFL level, and it was a really gutsy call, and I applaud the coaching staff for going through with it, and backing in the young fella who's been fantastic for the Magpies for the majority of the year. It was great to see him in midfield getting clearances, and I think he had 7 clearances and stuff like that, and really nullifying the rucks. There's probably first half, the midfield we was probably looking like our weakest spot. We were getting not torn apart, but it was heavily contested, and Essendon were winning it on the outside, and Merritt looked like he was going to have a big one, and to go in the 2 or 3 goals up with Merritt having, I think he had about 20 touches in the first half, and that was really positive. That was the only real major worry, was if he got off the chain, and the fact he was getting off the chain and we were still keeping him at arm's length was really, really positive. And the boys, once they broke them, once the damn walls broke, they looked like they could win that by anything, like over 70, 80 points, and probably should have in the end. Rozee was fantastic. We all saw his quality on the weekend. The balls he was winning at the fall of the ball, and his 2 goals, classic Rover goals, all that type of stuff. It was a big call by Dwayne Russell in the commentary box to say that he'll be the next Gary Ablett Senior. I really hate when they do stuff like that, but drop us a comment down below what you think of that rating. But yeah, he is a fantastic kid, and any other year when Sam Walsh isn't, tearing it up in midfield, him and Dersma have to be right up there in the rising star. Dersma was fantastic. He got the arrow out this week, that beautiful checky from the boundary, and I really love the way that fella goes about his footy. The week he was dropped or rested or whatever you want to call it, we really lacked his outside run and polish, and with him in the team, we just look like we compete a lot better. He runs hard. He's up and down the flanks. He gets forward. He gets back. He has an incredible possession. Like for a young kid, his composure under pressure is something to behold. And the other young kid that deserves a mention is Butters. took a really solid hit by Dylan Shield, and that guy is like a fucking truck. And Butters is just a little kid and took it, got whacked in the sternum, and looked like he was really struggling and to get breath back even on the bench and all that type of stuff, and to come out after half time and put on that forward pressure and stuff like that. It was really positive for the kid. I rate the three kids that we've had those three kids that we've had this year, I really rate so highly. Said it a couple of times, but not one of my favourite players, but really winning me over, Carl Amon. Fantastic. Really developed a lethal left foot. Looks a lot better now that he's a bit more composed with the footy and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of years to really enjoy his footy. His possession is elite, and kicked a snag on the weekend, and really awesome, really awesome. It was great to see Toddy Marshall back. Him and Charlie look like they link well. Charlie's forgotten how to football for the time being, but I think he'll get that back, and he's got 3 weeks to really to get some form, so we can really put some pressure on this finals charge. For what it's worth, I think we win the next 3. I said that before the Essendon game as well. I thought we were good value in all 3 games. It'll probably come down to the Freo game to see who plays finals, and because Essendon look like they're struggling, and I think they're probably the one to fall out of the 8, even though Adelaide look a bit dodgy as well, and I don't think they win a game for the rest of the year either. So it's going to be an interesting run home. Back the boys, get down to the Portress on Saturday afternoon. It's probably going to belt down, but we got to get there and support the boys, get around them, show them some love for the effort they put in on the weekend. Best ons, I gave 1 to Connor Rozee, I reckon. His 2 goals should have been about 3 or 4. But competed hard in the forward line and kept a lot of forward pressure on as well. 2 votes went to Darcy Byrne-Jones. Darcy Byrne-Jones was fantastic across half-back, and 3 votes to Dan Houston. And to have a bit of a chat about that fella, and Boki's a little bit rough there as well, not to get the 1 vote off of Connor, but because of the tag and all that type of stuff. Dylan Clark's been tearing up the best and kept Cripps to something like 12 or 13 possessions when he played Carlton and stuff like that. So Boki was fantastic too. What was I saying? Dan Houston, what a player he is. I loved him off the half-back flank. He was always very accountable to his forward, and then his possession out was always fantastic. And the way he went about it in midfield on the weekend, Jesus, we got a player there. We have got a player there. So composed with the footy, and he's dangerous from outside 50 as well. Like, we saw him kick the what was the final goal, I reckon it was, and he just looks like a star. And a lot of the negative press we were getting from the club endured last week from fans, and I copped a little bit of heat on Twitter because I was trying to be upbeat about the team and trying to talk a few Ken Hinkley out people around and all that type of stuff. That we've got a really exciting group of youngsters. Like Darcy Byrne-Jones, I'd be shocked if he's over 25. Dan Houston's 23. Then we've got Butters 18, Connor 19, Dersman 19. We've got Ryan Burton, that's 21. We got so many young players. Cleary, who I'd be shocked if he's over 24. You know, we're as much as we're getting negative press for being inconsistent and stuff like that, these kids can play football. They look amazing, and when they back themselves, there's not too many teams that can stop us. So, yeah, get on board, guys. We really want to see a big number at the Portress this week. I'll be there in the cheer squad like I usually am, and I'll be bringing my daughter down. We'll vote with our feet. I was really happy to see the boys get firing. I thought we were good value against GWS. GWS a solid team, and thought we should have won that. And you look at the difference between last week and this week, and it was just goal kicking, like kicking 14-2 from set shots. And last week we just couldn't hit the goal to save our lives. And yeah, that was the main difference between the two games, really. If we convert our opportunities against GWS, we win by 4 goals. There's nothing. I don't want to hear anyone debating that or anything like that. So yeah, this week it's going to be interesting. Forecast says it's going to be wet, so how we deal with that's going to be interesting. Whether if it's going to be wet, as good as Laddams was, I'd be looking at him to come out because we'll be too tall. But I love the forward line setup that we had. I thought, Robbie was just on another planet on Saturday, and to move him out of the forward line would be horrendous. Ollie's got to come in as well. Obviously, before the game, Sutcliffe was the major one that even I couldn't really see how he held his spot, but Sutcliffe was amazing in terms of delivery inside forward 50 and kicked that beautiful snag from the pocket that he'd never kick that again if he tried, I reckon. But, when things are going your way, they go your way. But I think Sutcliffe holds now, and probably the one that goes out is SPP. I love Sam Powell-Pepper. I dub him the dumbest footballer to every player on a football field, but sometimes you need dumb footballers. The only thing Sammy needs is a bit of composure, really. The way he has his panic face on quite a lot. Whenever he gets the footy and he doesn't know what to do with it, he just jams it on the boot and stuff like that. And I think, that as hard as he goes in, I think we get that from Wines, and then we get a bit of polish instead of a rush kick. So I think this week the outs will be probably Wines and a Tool, and maybe Dougal Howard comes in to play centre half back, and ruck with Ryder. And yeah, I think that's the way selection will go this week. Later in the week, once teams are announced and stuff like that, we might do a preview video. Might even do a video if my daughter comes to the football. We might do a video where I'm in and my daughter's in the back seat there, and we'll have a bit of a chat about our expectations and all that type of stuff. And we might do a bit of a game day vlog if the daughter comes or something like that, and get my editing skills up a little bit and try and cut that together. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel, drop a like if you subscribe if you're new. Got 2 subscribers, so looking to add to that. And also drop us a comment on anything you want me to discuss further about the footy club, and whether you're Hinkley in, Hinkley out, your reasons for it, let me know. And we'll do another discussion video prior to the Sydney game. So yeah, that's me for the day, guys. Hope you have a good day. You should do. The only disappointing thing from the weekend was the Saints couldn't get up. So, the Crows fans will be up and about this week. You've got to make sure you're up and about too. And yeah, we're going to really push them for that final 8 spot, and it's going to be beautiful if we can edge them out of it. The Adelaide media will fucking melt. So yeah, that's me for today, guys. Calm the power, and yeah, talk soon. Catch you then. Bye.